But yeah, I've got some other articles I want to talk about on the subject of food, because again, food is a very important thing. Um, so across the pond, you may not know this. Actually, I'm American, right? So across the pond over in England, there have been some stunning developments. Now imagine, right? Donald Trump gets a virus and gets a disease that is exacerbated by the fact that he eats 30 Big Macs a day. And imagine Donald Trump saying, we should probably fix people having access to and eating 30 Big Macs a day. Now, obviously, that would not happen, but something similar happened in the UK. Boris Johnson got corona, and he had severe complications from his corona, and now apparently he's on some health kick. And so the UK, or at least England, I'm not entirely sure if it's the UK broadly or just England, unhealthy snacks to be banned from checkouts at supermarkets in England. I think this is a huge thing. Now, the reason why this is such a positive thing, again, from Boris Johnson, right? Holy mackerel. But the reason why this is so positive is, again, I agree with, I think sugar taxes, honestly, they're kind of silly. I think it's much better to go after the root, which is high fructose corn syrup subsidies, in America at least, than go after a sugar tax, right? And this is one of those situations. They're not banning sugary foods, but they're, preventing, when you're at the checkout line, you're waiting, right? And you're looking at the candy bars and the fucking, Mountain Dews and the fucking Coca-Colas and shit and the fucking little coffee drinks that have 0% caffeine in them and are just all sugar and fucking chocolate, right? You see those things there and you're like, damn, I want one. Right? Here's something in my experience, and I'm not going to, every now and then when I go to the grocery store with specific people, every time that we're checking out, they want to get a $2 20-ounce bottle of soda every time that we check out. Right? Every single time. And now, would they have gotten that soda if it wasn't there? Maybe. But every single time, would they? Maybe not. So that's the idea here. So I'm going to read this. Supermarkets in England are to be barred from displaying unhealthy food and drinks at checkouts or using them in buy one, get one free offers as part of a proposed government crackdown on obesity. Now, it's important to note that obesity is a problem, but obesity is, typically, obesity is a symptom of a wider problem. The wider problem being fatty liver and metabolic syndrome. The planned restrictions were praised by health campaigners as a bold first step in Downing Street's promised campaign against obesity. The checkout restrictions will apply to other sales-boosting locations, such as the entrances to stores or at the end of aisles. Similar rules will apply for websites, banning sales links to unhealthy foods on places such as homepages or at checkouts or payment pages. Restaurants will no longer be able to offer free refills of sugary drinks. Bada boom. The restrictions will not come into force until April 2022 and will be subject to a consultation process first. So again, it's going to be a couple years before this stuff is instituted. But this is, in my opinion, again, the perfect way of doing so, right? If someone really wants that soda, okay, you can go get the soda, but you shouldn't have to go to a grocery store and have buy one, get one free 2-liter Coca-Colas in every single aisle, right? When I go to the grocery store, literally every single aisle, candy bars, sodas, right? Every single aisle. I should not have to be bombarded with advertisements for things that will kill me on every single aisle. I just want to go there and get my food and leave, right? And so a lot of people have willpower. A lot of people have self-control. Not everyone does. And this is a situation where there's an editorial design process behind what foods are being thrown in your face, right? And if we have any control over that editorial process, we should control and try to promote healthy eating instead of unhealthy eating. And again, if someone does want a soda, they should be able to have access to that soda, right? Because if someone wants a treat, they should be allowed to have that treat. No big government should be able to come in and say, you should not have that, right? You're a healthy eater, right? Every couple weeks you want to get yourself crack open a Coca-Cola. I get it. I'm on your side, right? But that does not mean that every time you go to the grocery store to buy healthy food, you should have to, again, like I was saying before, is eating a lot of sugar as a kid. I am addicted to sugar for the rest of my life. When I was a teenager, I would drink a 2 liter of Mountain Dew in, an hour. I would drink a 2 liter of Mountain Dew, and this would be a frequent occurrence for me. So whenever I'm at the store and I see soda pop in every single aisle, I have to tell myself I don't need it. I have to see it with my brain, and my brain is addicted to it. My brain recognizes the color and the logos and all that stuff, and my brain is like, give that to me right now. And my body is like, keep that away from me, right? So again, if I really want a soda, right? If I want to go there, let's say I did great healthy eating for a month, and, I'm going to have a party and I want to have like a pop or whatever, that's fine. And I should be able to seek that out. But I should not have to have the willpower of a fucking, I don't know, someone with willpower. I can't think of an analogy there. It follows Boris Johnson's pledge earlier in the year to reduce levels of excess weight and obesity. Johnson made the commitment after a serious bout of coronavirus, which the prime minister believed was exacerbated by the fact that he was overweight. Again, could you imagine Trump doing that? The definition of high-fat or high-sugar food and drink will be based on existing guidelines, but includes items such as chocolate and sweets. Now, I want to highlight that phrase, existing guidelines. In another article I'm going to read, these existing guidelines aren't as objective as you might think they are. So I'm going to read that article in a separate segment, but I'm just throwing that out there. So they're going to be based on existing guidelines, but includes items such as chocolate and sweets, crisps, whatever the fuck a crisp is, soft drinks and sugary milk or juice drinks, cakes, pastries and puddings, biscuits, cereals, yogurts, whatever that means, pizza, ready meals, and chips. I love chips. Don't you love chips? Thank you. The government argues that rather than saving people money, promotions on unhealthy items tend to mean people simply buy more, while end-of-aisle displays can boost soft drink sales by 50%. If you see buy one, get one free on Mountain Dews, right? Buy one, get one free. Okay, you're still buying one. And if it wasn't there, you'd buy 0. Plain and simple. In England, 63% of adults are classified as overweight or living with obesity, while a third of children leave primary school overweight or obese. Now, again, obesity is a... Nice camera, dude. Obesity is a symptom of things like fatty liver and metabolic syndrome, right? There are people that are obese, which have, their own health complications, but do not have fatty livers and are metabolically healthy. And those obese people typically don't have all of the issues such as higher disease rates that are typically associated with obesity. Those associations are more to do with metabolic health and more to do with the certain chemicals that you're putting in your body rather than the body composition that you currently have. Again, I think it's something like, in America at least, I think it's something like 20% of those that are obese are metabolically healthy and are at lower risk of heart disease than most thin people. So that's just something to throw out there. So it's not just obesity, but, whatever gets the job done. So I am all in favor of this, 1000% in endorsing. And again, I'm going to look at this article here in a hot second, but I'm going to read the chat first.